I'm going to show you how to open and operate a Vendo 56. So a lot of times people, they ask questions about how the machines operate. And I noticed with the 56, it has a large coin door, just like the 81 has a large coin door. So they're both the exact same doors. So the 56 is 52 inches high. The 81 is 58 inches high. So the difference is 6 inches. So the reason why everyone likes the 56 is that it's a little bit smaller machine. If you notice on the 56, it has a solid door. The 81 has a glass door on it. So you'd be able to see the product caps from the front on the 81, but you'd have to open up the the bottle door to see what's inside the 56. And so a lot of times you'll see people cut out the frame on the 56 and put glass in there, so then you'd be able to have it look like the 81. So basically the same machine, side by side, just one is taller than the other one. So for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to show you how it operates. So if you look at getting into the machine, you would obviously have to open the machine from the side coin door, which would take a key. If you don't have a key, look at the number on the lock core. If you have a number that starts with, or a letter that starts with a PR or a KT, or there's a big sequence of numbers, and then they usually follow, this usually starts with a letter and then a number. So in many cases for the Vendos, it'd be a PR, so you'd have two letters and then it would follow a number. A lot of times on the Vendo machines, they were PR 500 all the way up to around 520. It seems like that's the most common. Now, other people that have machines in different areas might have a different format of numbering. When I talked to a locksmith that's been around in my local area, he said that when they made locks, they made numbered locks for different geographical areas. That way you wouldn't be able to take your key from one place all the way over to the other place, which should be 4 or 5 or 6 states away. Now, I've seen a pretty good pattern with the PR numbers, so it could have been a manufacturing thing through Vendo or other manufacturers. So when you open up the coin door, you actually have to move the crank handle out of the way. So you have to turn the handle back on itself until it's in line with the cutout in the coin door. Now that the handle is in line, we can open the door. So when you open the door, inside is the coin mechanism. So you have the coin chute, you have the coin rejector, you have the back plate. That way when you shut the door, you don't see that gap inside the machine where the coin mechanism would be. Someone could reach their hand in there and maybe fiddle around with the coin mechanism and perhaps even get inside somehow, which would be just quite a bit of patience. But if you look at this particular coin mechanism, it's actually a change giver. So you have this sold out flag right here. So if you look at the bottom of the mechanism, so there's the top, the rejector, and then down here is the coin block. That's where the coin passes through the rejector, and then it drops in this block, and then that validates the setting that you have on the coin mechanism. And then if you were to use this mechanism, it would give you change. So you could deposit a dime or 2 nickels, or excuse me, no, you could deposit a quarter. I've got the wrong decal on this machine because at one point I had switched out the mechanism for some reason. I had taken it out, or I had changed it out for a while, and so I put this one back in here. And so you could put a quarter in here and get 3 nickels back. And so that's why you have this change tube down here. Once the change tube runs out of nickels, then that would bring the flag up, and then in the window it would tell you to use correct change, and then that would tell you that you can't use a quarter, you'd have to use a dime or 2 nickels. So if you look at the rejector when it comes out, so when you look at this component from the top, how this comes out, if you needed to get this out to service it or clean it, this is where a lot of the vending problems occur. So if you actually take this rejector out, this whole component comes out. It comes out, and then behind there would be the old heater block. So if these were outside, there was a hot wire that came off your wiring harness, and that would keep the mechanism free from freezing up. This one here is really seen a lot of wear. I probably need to cut that and wire tie that so I don't have some type of electrical problem. Even though it's broken, I would want to make sure that that's removed from the equation. There is no bottle door light in the 56, so it's just the only hot wire that would have came off the wiring harness would just be to feed power to the heater block. So anyways, so when you have the rejector removed, now you just have the coin mechanism. So down when you remove the rejector, you'll see that you have this coin block down here. That is where the coins pass into a slot to validate the purchase. And so I think it goes penny, nickel, dime, quarter is the sequence. I might have it off one. I'm not really a coin mechanism guy. I just know that when you remove the rejector, you can test the mechanism if it's working by putting the correct coin in the correct slot. Then you could actually just turn the handle and see if it's working. So if you put the rejector back in the machine, you'll see that it slides in right there, and then up here this tab will have to come out a little bit so it can lock back in place. So it's kind of hard to do one-handed. And you'll see that it is super hard to do this one-handed. Okay, I kind of bent that those tabs kind of get a little bit bent over time, so I kind of had to massage it back in place. But now that we have the rejector in place, we can pass a dime through there and see if it will vend. So to get up here and grab a dime and go ahead and, just for the purposes of showing how it works, you'll see that I've got one dime, and that dime would pass through the coin chute and go into the rejector. If the rejector's dirty, it's going to reject the coin and it's going to get stuck somewhere, and that's not going to allow the coin mechanism to work. So we're going to drop this dime. It's going to pass through this rejector. It's going to go down into the coin block. Then you're going to turn this handle, and then we'll talk about how it works when you get inside. So when you push this dime, it goes through the coin rejector. Now it's in the appropriate coin slot. So if we were to take this rejector out, we could see exactly where that dime passed through. So we neatly take this out, we'll see that dime is down there. So if we go penny, nickel, dime, quarter, so the dime is actually dime quarter. So I must be maybe it's penny, dime, quarter, or something's got to be a nickel. I don't know. I don't know the answer. So once we turn this handle, that's going to validate the sale. So when we turn this handle, that coin would come over here, and it would slide down this ramp right here, and it would drop into this little black container that neatly is in the coin door. It's just a nice designed, very symmetric to the coin door, and that way that would be where you would collect the money if you were the person that was on the route to stock the machine and to take the currency, back to the headquarters station, the bottler, or whoever makes the money on the product. So when we open up the door, so there's a handle on the door, and this opens the main door. So when you open the main door, you'll see inside that we have our vending stack, which is right here. This is your vending stack for your machine. So you'll have all your product shelves. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means that there'll be 8 bottles per shelf. 8 times 7 is 56. And then down here, next to the evaporator, this is your evaporator, you'll have an area for pre-cool. So each machine has a different pre-cool compartment. So if someone came to stock the machine, they could grab cold product that was already in the machine in this area right here, and they could move that product onto the shelves, closest to being vended first. So you can see that the first 3 columns are reserved for Coca-Cola. So they would put, 24 bottles. That'd be 8 times 3 shelves is 24 bottles would be in the first 3 rows. And then the rest of the product shelves, which would be 5 shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Excuse me, there's 7 shelves. I'm an idiot. Anyways, so there's 7 shelves, whatever. So if there's 7 shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8 bottles per shelf. Again, there's 3 columns reserved for Coca-Cola, so that'd be 24 bottles. And the remaining of the shelves, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, would be for other product. So if you look, hopefully you stay with me on that, I mixed up the shelves. Anyways, so if you look at the inside of the main door, you have the instructions. Those instructions are for you to set the shelf to meet the right product. So if you look at the vending stack, you have 3 holes. There is a rod that passes through the hole on the stack that goes through the bottle shelf, and then it comes out the back and fits in a hole in the back of the machine. So depending on what position you want your product to be, it tells you right here. The bottom hole is for large bottles. The middle hole is for medium-sized bottles, or average-sized bottles, excuse me. And then the top rod is for smaller bottles. So all you have to do is look at the diagram on the machine. And so what makes this really nice is that not only can you vend more than one selection of product, you can also vend various sized bottles. So if you are wanting to put a real short bottle in one column, and when I say column, I'm talking about one vending column, then you could do that. And then you could move the next shelf to accommodate the next size bottle, and so on. So you have the ability to vend 7 different flavors of product, and you can have different size bottles. If you're looking at a machine and you can't see a bottle door on the machine, you know right away it's single vend. There's no other type of product that could be put in that machine because you can't see what you're vending. So if you look at the VMC 88, you can't see anything from the outside. You can't see any product. And so therefore you know that this is only going to vend Coca-Cola. But when you can see the product from the bottle door, or you can open the bottle door and you can see product inside, then you know that you have multi-vend opportunities. So how this works is when we turn that handle down on the machine, there's a rod that goes through the coin mechanism and attaches this linkage bar onto this T. So when you turn the coin mechanism, that cam, this vending cam, lines up with this barrel cam on the vending stack. And so when this component, this vending pin is in this cam, it turns this cam, and what it does is there's a spring on this cam, this barrel actuator cam. And so this is a recoil. So when you turn the handle from the outside, it turns that cam. And what that does is it operates inside the vending stack from the other side, the master linkage. And inside the master linkage, it moves this little locking component in there, and it allows you to vend one time, and then at that point the master linkage resets, and then it can't allow you to vend any more product. So that's basically how the machine operates. So if you have any questions, you can comment below, but not the best quality video, but hopefully you get a general idea of how it works. All right, thanks.